What is going on, fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives Make Money Online Trainer podcast. And if you're watching this on the video, you see my new little podcast setup.
It's cute, right?
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm doing a new thing. So we have a new podcast set up. I'm ready to take my content game to the next level. So if you're not subscribed to me on YouTube yet, hashtag shameless plug, go subscribe to me on YouTube. You guys are going to be seeing a lot more education / business style content.
Whoa.
That's going to be a little bit different from the podcast. So make sure you guys tune in to the YouTube at Brian Mark.
Absolutely.
So what is our topic for today, wife?
Okay, so wifey for lifey. Topic today is a lot of y'all are giving up too easy. So it's going to be on just giving up too easy, throwing in the towel before you actually put in the solid reps.
We were talking about this on the weekend and our conversation, I remember you said it in the car. You're like, most people give up too easy. And I'm like, I'm going to do a video on that. And you're like, let's do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And if I think back to everything that we've been able to accomplish as a couple and me as an individual in the last few years, like purchasing Iron Energy Gym, taking over the majority shares, PT nomination, earning over $15 million in sales, moving into this mansion, buying our dream home, like all these results that we were able to accomplish came as a result of our fucking absolutely relentless and like unwillingness to like bend the knee or bow down. And there's been a lot of like really adverse circumstances that have happened to us in the last 10 years, like struggling with the drug addiction, like even I went through this period before I met Kirst where I was like kind of like lost and partying and just kind of like didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. And I think that so many people go through those adversities and they go through those hardships and they might be in one right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they use those adversities or those hardships as reasons to stop putting in the work and they end up throwing in the towel.
Yeah. And you guys, you see it all the time, like specifically too, just watching people in general, like you'll see people and it kind of starts like this. And tell me what you think about this, babe. People get this motivation from something. Maybe it's from like a doctor saying like, hey, you need to fucking get in shape. Or maybe it's from looking in the mirror and being like, I'm so fucking sick of myself. Something inspires you. You watch a podcast, you watch a show, something inspires you to take action to change. So you feel inspired and you take that action. But what happens is that inspiration, it's fleeting. It's not there on a permanent level. It's like some days you wake up and you want to, and some days you wake up and you don't. And so what people do is they take this inspiration, they run with it, they try and change 85 things overnight, they fall short, and then they end up throwing in the towel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I see like you guys when it comes to businesses, when it comes to building your body, when it comes to building your mindset. Like people think that inspiration, that moment of motivation is going to last 24/7. And when it doesn't, we're so easy to just stop putting in the reps and resort back to old habits because it's comfortable.
Yeah. And I think that it's comfortable because everybody's addicted to the short-term result. Everybody loves to see the scale drop. Everybody loves to see their body transforming in front of them. Everybody loves to make more money. We're all addicted to this like short-term rush. Like we want this like dopamine hit. And I honestly think that social media has made this worse because it's so easy for you to make a post and get instant gratification. So we're constantly seeking, like, we want the result. And that is why weight loss supplements that sell you fucking, if you take this pill, you'll lose 10 pounds. We literally, you remember that magazine that I got you to take a picture of? And on the cover of a women's health magazine, it says lose 30 pounds in 30 days. And I'm like, that is literally fucking society. That's literally society. And people come into business and they come into a fitness journey, even relationships, with like unrealistic expectations, right? It's like in your business, it's like, I want to make money and I want to make it this month. So I'm going to start my online business. And if I don't start making money this month, then I'm going to keep working at my 9 to 5 because it's guaranteed. And in your fitness journey, you're like, hey, I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to get in shape. And when you start on that journey and you start like working out, but then you're not seeing the scale drop, it's like, oh, fuck it. Like, I'm not seeing the scale drop. I may as well order skip the dishes. Why am I cooking my meals? I'm not losing weight anyways. I may as well like resort back to things that I'm comfortable with. And even in relationships, like I feel like it'll get a little bit hard. And instead of actually fucking working through it and like figuring out like, what do I need to do to get on the same page with my partner? People will resort to like obscene measures, whether that's like on like the short end of the stick, it's like, getting super cold and distant and pulling away. And on the more extreme end, it's like, I'm going to cheat on my fucking partner. I'm going to lie to their fucking face. I'm going to be deceitful. I'm going to have an affair. Like people just want short-term gratification and they want the short-term result. And when it doesn't come as easy as they thought it was going to, that's when they end up throwing in the towel and they end up quitting.
Yeah. And it's like, honestly, you guys, it's hard to watch because I feel like a lot of people too, they see the end result. So like, say for us, they're like, I want to work towards building a business like Brian, or I want to work towards whatever it may be. So they see us as like the end result, and they don't actually peel back the layers of the onion and see what it actually took for us to get there, even when it comes to our relationship, you guys. So like mine and Brian's relationship, we've been together for 4 years. We've been married for 2. Both of us are so committed to working through things together instead of throwing in the towel. We've had some really hard conversations, but we're always 100% of the time willing to work on it. Like I chose him and he chose me, and together we're going to work on it. And so many people just like don't give their partner that opportunity. And it's like your partner does something, it ticks you off, and then you're like, okay, bye. Like, see you later. Or you, like Brian said, you get cold. It's like, you have to be willing to put in the work, and you need to be willing to put in the reps, and you need to be willing to just like push through adversity. Cause it's like, I don't know, do you still face problems in your business?
100%.
Do we still face problems in our relationship?
Yes.
Same with me, you guys, in your fitness journey,
Yeah.
things that hold you back,
Yeah.
right? But like the difference is those things are simply just like a little roadblock, and a roadblock is something that you can push through. But way too many of us look at those as like, sign to go back to my old shitty habits. If your old shitty habits were not serving you and you were unhappy on a daily basis, that is never the place that you're supposed to go back to. Period.
I think that this is a message that I really want to communicate, and I really want everyone to understand, is that I still get those feelings where I want to quit.
Yes.
I still get those feelings. Like there are times where, like, you know, in my fitness journey, especially on this prep, it's been super fucking hard because my body wasn't responding. Like I was like putting in the work. I was executing to the maximum of my ability. I was actually fucking cutting corners and being lazy, and I wasn't willing to look in the mirror and be like, you're actually not fucking doing everything you're telling your coach you're doing, you liar. Mm-hmm. But because I was unwilling to face myself, I'm like, I should just fucking quit. This is hard. Mm-hmm. Like this is really, really hard. I had the same thing with my content for a long time, you guys. I was like trying to figure out like I'm watching Kirsten go viral, I'm watching Cole go viral, and I'm like finding my voice. And it took me a long time for me to actually find my own voice and believe in it, because I'm watching my friends just fucking go turbo viral. I'm like, fuck social media. That's how it felt for a long time. Yeah. And it's like all of us, including you, successful people feel the same emotions that you do.
Yeah.
And my definition of successful is you set a goal and you achieve it. If you can set a goal and you can achieve it, you're successful, period. And successful people all feel the exact same things that you're feeling in this very fucking moment right now. You know, if you're feeling like you're struggling with something, if you're feeling like you're like going through adversity, if you're feeling like your content isn't hitting, if you feel like your business isn't growing, if you feel like your physique isn't changing, even though you're putting in the fucking work, like successful people feel like quitting too. The difference is that they fucking don't. They don't.
Yeah.
Successful people never fucking quit.
Never.
Period.
Period.
It's like there's a difference between quitting and failure. Okay. So quitting is like, I'm fucking, you know, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm just going to go back. I'm going to order that fucking pizza. I'm not going to the gym today. I'm pressing fucking snooze. You know, I'm tapping out. I'm not posting on social media for 2 weeks because I need to quote unquote take a break because it's not working. That's fucking quitting. Yeah. Okay. Failure is different, because failure is where you set a goal and you're putting in the work and you don't end up hitting that goal. And failure is necessary. Like failure is a part of the process. And if you can embrace like that part of the process, failure and mistakes, and, you know, take those things as lessons. It's like you said something really cool, and you said, I chose you and you chose me. That was the commitment that we made to each other when we got married.
Yeah.
That's also the commitment that I made to my fucking dreams.
Yes.
It's like I chose to be a millionaire. And that might seem like a very blanket, bold, arrogant statement for a lot of you, but I don't, like, that is my truth. I literally chose. I decided at 23 years old, I was like, I'm going to be a multimillionaire, period. I'm going to have a business that impacts thousands of people. Yeah. I'm going to be making millions of dollars online. Yeah. I'm going to own my own gym. I decided, I chose my vision.
Yeah.
I literally decided. And then I just put in an insane amount of work. And no matter what my world was telling me, no matter what my external circumstances were telling me, I was never, ever, ever, ever willing to take my foot off the gas. I was never willing to quit. I might have failed. I might have like let some people down. I
and
might
also
have, like,
sat in it for like 10, 20, 30 minutes a day being like, wow, this, like, feel it out. Because you said Brian did a video, and it was a really powerful video because it talked about how like 80% of the time, like I'm positive energy, rah, rah, let's go. 20% of the time, I'm fucking pissed at myself. And way too many of you forgive yourself so easily. You have a really bad night of binge drinking, and then you're like, oh, compassion. I forgive myself. And then what happens next weekend?
I agree, but I honestly don't even think it's compassion. I think you're fucking lying to yourself. I think most people will go out and they'll drink and they'll party on the weekend, and they'll justify it and they'll be like, oh, that's cool. I'm just living my life.
Justification. Yeah.
I'm just living my life. Okay, cool, homie. How's your bank account? How do you feel when you look in the mirror? You're just living your life, quote unquote. Like that's all you're doing. How's your bank account?
Yeah.
How do you feel when you look in the mirror? Are you
Mhm.
happy with the physique that's looking back at you? Are you happy with the state of your health? If that's the case, cool, to keep doing you. But I
Keep
feel like
going.
so many people just fucking lie to themselves. And they're
Mhm.
like, oh, like I actually I don't really need to put in the work because like I'm happy where I'm at. But then before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning, the first thought in your mind is you're like, I don't like the way I look.
I
Right?
agree. And I think you're right. Like compassion too, I think will come from like friends. So say you have a really bad night and you're feeling kind of guilty about it. And then you go to your best friend who also was out with you that night. And you're like, oh, like I feel like shit. What would your best friend do? Oh, it was just, we're just having fun. It was just this,
Yeah.
like, don't feel bad. You had a hard night. And so they're basically just like your friends who are supposed to be your biggest supporters are now like justifying along with you.
Well, they are your biggest supporters.
Yeah.
But they're your biggest supporters to the level that they can support themselves.
Mhm.
Like if you have friends around you that aren't successful, that aren't jacked, that aren't making money, that aren't like living their dream, and then you're like, oh, I feel really guilty because this online business is hard and I'm trying to take some time off, but I feel guilty when I do it. And they're like,
Mhm.
take some time off.
Yes.
Do it. You
Yeah.
deserve it.
Yeah.
Is your friend fucking loaded?
Yeah.
No. Why are you taking advice from them? Literally, like I remember when I wanted to quit my show, I called Cole and I was like, yo, like I'm not doing really well with this show prep right now. Like I feel like my body isn't changing, even though I'm putting in the work. Like I'm just not doing good. And I feel like I'm going to quit. I'm going to drop my coach. And he's like, no, you're fucking not. He's like, you said you wanted to do the show. He's like, you said you were going to follow through. You said you were going to stay committed. Like you said, this is something that you want. You committed to this. He's like, don't fucking drop your coach. He's like, this is the coach that you need. And so like, that's the type of friends you want to have around you. And if you don't have friends like that around you, that's why you need to be in a mentorship program.
Mhm.
So you can
Yes.
be around a mentor that has a mindset like that. That's like, motherfucker, you said you wanted to be successful. You said you wanted to lose the weight. You said you wanted to build this business, and that mentor can like keep you on track for what you said you wanted. Like, it's like, guys, this is the thing. Okay. Your own fucking brain is working against you. You have to understand that. Like your own brain is literally working against you. Your brain isn't designed to have like a fucking optimal physique. It's designed to survive. We're designed to procreate, make babies, be comfortable, live our life, and that's it. So all these desires that you guys have of like getting jacked, getting in shape, making more money, like living an abundant life, like that's literally going against what you're programmed to do. And so your brain's going to fucking lie to you. So you say you want to lose 20 pounds, right? In the morning when you wake up, your brain's going to go, really? You want to sleep? You need to sleep, right? You need to like relax. You're going too hard. You need to take it easy. Like your brain is literally fucking lying to you. And so if you can understand that and you can like ask yourself, this is the thing that I like to do. It's like, I'm deciding the goal that I want to achieve. So let's say that I want to lose 20 pounds. Let's say I want to fucking, make $10,000 a month. Let's say I want to build that business. I'm deciding what I want to do. And then I'm making the commitment. It's like, this is the fucking decision. Okay. There's a story. I'm going to tell it in a second, but it's like, I will literally do whatever the fuck is necessary to achieve this goal. And I will not let a single fucking thing get in my way. And no matter how much adversity, no matter how much it fucking sucks, no matter how like anxious I get or how frustrated or overwhelmed I get, I will never, ever, 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 ever quit on this goal. And I will fucking stake my own existence until it becomes a reality. When you get to that point, you literally will move mountains. Like your like desire and your willpower will like move everything around you.
Yeah. Word up. Okay. So when Brian said your brain is literally working against you, for the people that are watching live, I saw so many comments come in and people are like, well, my brain's a dick. Yeah. This and this, this. I just want to say, I personally think that that's not always the way it is, because I feel like 90% of the time, myself and my mind were on the same team. I wake up and I'm speaking like positive thoughts to myself.
But did you decide to do that?
Yes, I'm making the choice.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm making the choice. But I also think it's important to know that if your brain is a little bit of a dickhead right now and you're just working through maybe negative thought patterns, that isn't always the way that it has to be, period. It's not always the way that it has to be, because so many people are like, you're right. Yeah, I'm always going to be in this fight against my mind. Like those thoughts are always going to come. And certainly, like I still have thoughts that come into my mind. I'm like, that does not serve me. I'm just easier to redirect. So don't think that it's a permanent place. Like evolution and just like becoming a better version of yourself is never ending. There's no end date. The next thing I wanted to touch on is when you're in like a relationship, a lot of the time when somebody says they want what's best for you, unconsciously or maybe consciously, it's actually what's best for them. So your friend that's your biggest supporter that wants you to go out and drink with them, they're just recently single. So they're like, yeah, for sure. Like, come out and drink. That's what you need. You need a glass of wine. But ultimately, like, they don't really want what's best for you. They want what's best for them. And what's best for them is for you to go out and keep them company while they have a drink. I love that you mentioned the social media. Like, you're like seeing Cole pop off, seeing me pop off. I've seen Brian be so consistent with his content for like so fucking long. And so the other day, we had a conversation and he's like, I want you to help me go viral. Everything you post, it just goes turbo viral. And I genuinely want Brian to succeed. I want Brian to pop off. So I'm like, I would love to do that. I would love to help you. Brian, when it comes to business, is a fucking guru, you guys. And I would love for you to help me organize systems and get my ducks in a row. I genuinely want what's best for him. He genuinely wants what's best for me. So together we're going to grow and it's a win-win relationship. Mm-hmm. But there's so many relationships that don't have that dynamic. The dynamic is off. And so there's these relationships where this person wants what's best for them and they're telling you that it's also what's best for you. When in reality, like, what do you want? If you are very clear on the thing that you want and the goal that you're going towards, then if someone isn't supporting you in that thing, they don't want what's best for you. And that's where you do need to hire a mentor. And that's like, for me, my clients, I tell them this all the time, but like, I genuinely want what's best for my client. Yep. Like, I genuinely want what's best for you. If you want to lose 10 pounds, I want to support you on that. If you want to stop drinking, I'm going to support you on that. But that doesn't mean that the people in your direct life, your community, sometimes even your fucking family are going to support you with that.
Yeah. Powerful. So first of all, I agree with everything you just said. Mm-hmm. And I want to share, because one of the things we talked about earlier was that we said your friends will only support you to the level that they're able to support themselves. That goes for your significant other too.
Yes. Oh,
that goes for your significant other. Like,
yes.
If you need to ask your significant other for permission to do anything and your significant other doesn't give you permission, then you need to really like ask yourself the question, like, does my significant other actually support me in my success? Because it's like, oftentimes we'll look to our significant other to support our decisions and help us with our decisions. But at the end of the day, like, it's not your fucking spouse's job to make a choice for you. It's like your job to decide what's best for you and your life, and like tell your spouse how much this fucking means to you and like ask for them to be on board. No, like, ask your spouse for permission. Can I start this weight loss journey? Do you mind if I start this business? Like, no, motherfucker. It's like, I love Kirsten to death. I don't ask Kirsten for permission to do anything.
Oh, I'm fucking me either, dude.
It's like, I'm not asking for permission. No. I'm like, yo, Kirsten, I'm like, I've got an event in Utah. It's this date. It's so fucking important to me. I need to go. I would love for you to be there. That's the conversation. It's not like, hey, babe, do you think that I get permission to go down to fucking blah, blah, blah to speak? Like, that's not how it works. Okay. If you have a relationship like that, like, you need to fucking put yourself first. So that's number one. And the second thing I wanted to go over, and this is a completely different topic, but I think it's important, is the idea that you need to cut off any alternative other than success. Okay. You need to cut off any alternative other than your own success. And so there's a story, and it's, back in the 1600s, there was a Spanish sailor that sailed across the ocean with a bunch of boats, and he arrived on shore. And the captain, when he arrived on shore, ordered all of his soldiers to incinerate the boats and burn the boats, set them all on fire. And this is where the story Burn the Boats comes from, by the way. So burn the boats, set them all on fire. Then the captain looked at the soldiers and he said, you have two options. Option number one is we win the fight and we go home. Option number two is we all die. And they fucking won. And the reason that they won is because it was either win or die. There was no retreat. And I think that is the mindset that has allowed me to succeed. In 2018, I wrote a post, it's on my Facebook, and I literally said, I'm either going to be a multimillionaire or I'm going to be fucking homeless. And that wasn't like a cute like quote that we should put in like a card. That was like a commitment to myself and a commitment to the universe that I will literally stake my existence on this goal and I will do whatever is necessary to achieve it. And I think that you need to have that like level of resilience. And I think that the reason that a lot of people never get themselves or even allow themselves to get to that level is they're afraid that they're going to fail. You fucking are. That's part of it. Like, you're going to fail. And so many people are afraid that they're going to quit. That's where you need to really like check yourself. And you need to like, if you're going to commit to this thing, it's like, it is a no matter what thing. It's not like a maybe thing. It's a no matter what thing. And I think that people's like I wish I could communicate to more people that if they just fucking stayed in the game,
Yes.
if you just fucking stayed in the game
Yes.
for a long enough period of time, eventually you'll be successful.
Yeah.
Like if you hang around the barber shop for long enough, eventually you're going to get a fucking haircut.
Yes.
That's how it fucking
Yeah.
works. There's one more thing I'm going to say and then I'm going to shut the fuck up. I'm reading a book right now. It's called Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. It's amazing. And he's talking about how the influence of crime. And this is, by the way, this is from a criminologist. This is how crime works. And so crime works like this. You know, if let's say you're a person that doesn't commit crimes and you hang around with criminals, right? You hang around with criminals. At first, you almost resist it, right? Oh, this is weird. You almost resist it. But then the longer you hang out with criminals, then you become like accustomed to it. And you're like, okay, I'm used to it. And then the longer you hang out with criminals, eventually you just start becoming a part of the crimes. And so that same fucking, that's like you become results of your environments over time. That same fucking theory applies to good things too. And so this is where, like, if you're a part of a fitness community and you first start, it's like at first you're like, this is weird. I don't really fucking like this, right? And then the longer that you're a part of it, you're like, okay, I'm starting to embrace some of this fitness stuff. And then the longer that you're a part of it, you're like, oh, I'm a fucking fit bitch now.
Yes,
okay, that's what I do.
Yes.
And that's the same thing with online training too. If you're in the Change Lives Academy, it's likely you've experienced that.
Yes.
Like, at first you're like, this is weird. And then you resisted it. And then you started embracing it. And now you're a fucking online coach that's making 5 to 10K a month. That's the way it works. It's the same thing in the mastermind. When you hang around the barbershop long enough, eventually you'll get a haircut, but you just need to make the decision that like, you will never, ever, 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 ever fucking quit, ever.
And I think that's like, just to tail kind of off that, is that so many people just flip-flop from thing to thing to thing to thing. Do you know what I mean? They do like, they're like an online fitness coach for like a few weeks and they're not getting the results that they saw someone, or they are in a fitness program for 2 weeks and it didn't start the way they wanted it to. So then they go to the next one and the next one. So they're flippy floppy, you guys. They're flippy floppy and what they want to do. They're changing careers. You've seen those people, the people that change careers 8 times in a year. I want to do this and I want to do this. I literally knew somebody, and to this day, they're still doing the same thing. They would have like 80,000 business ideas, but they never actually just went all in on one. And that's where I think like one of Brian's superpowers, you guys, one of Brian's superpowers is vision. And something that I've done just recently is I've just wrote this note out with my vision for health, wealth, relationships, and self. Obviously, as we evolve, this vision changes. But I've just seen Brian be so clear on what he wants and go after that thing. And again, you guys, like I see Brian face adversity on a daily basis. So you guys will see social media and it's like, and I feel like we try to keep it as like real as we possibly can for you guys and show you guys that we go through shit. But like Brian works through shit on a daily basis, but he has a vision and he's so connected to that vision and he works on that vision every single day. I realized I'm like, well, I have a vision board, but I actually wanted to like write out my vision. So I wrote out my vision for health, wealth, relationships, and self. Every single morning I read that vision. It makes me feel like I get goosebumps and I just get excited the way that I've worded it and just like described the things that I want in my life. And even just from doing this the last week, I noticed my relationships evolving into what my vision says. And it's because when I read my vision, I become that person that wants to live out that vision. I become that person that wants to like generate that level of success that's written in my vision. So it's like, it's just very, very, very powerful to have a vision and to do what Brian said, to like circle back. It's like when you have a vision, this isn't a vision that you might achieve. This is like a non-negotiable. And yes, small changes might happen because life evolves and things change and you grow. But like, I'm very clear on where I'm headed and there's not a thing that will get in my way. I'm like clear, focused, fucking going there. Adversity hits, get the fuck out of my way. I'm still on this path, period.
Yeah, it's like, I want to say this and then we'll end this off because I have a massage that I'm very excited about. If you think about all the options on the table in front of you when adversity strikes, you know, whether that be you don't have enough money this month or your weight hasn't dropped in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you're in a place right now where you're like depressed and you've been trying to work on your mindset, but you can't figure it out. Or your relationship is in the fucking toilet, whatever it is. Whenever you're faced with adversity, lay out all the options on the table and then take off fucking quitting.
Yeah.
That's not an option.
Yes.
Like,
I love that.
I will never, ever quit. That's not on the fucking table. And then start to explore the other options with creativity. That's the message here. Is like most people give up too easily. And if you want to be successful, you just need to be a motherfucker that never quits.
Yeah, absolutely. A fucking man.
Preach.
Also, fucking man, preach.
I just want to say this, like if you're listening to this podcast and this resonated with you and you feel like you're ready to take your online business to the next level and you want that support from that community, from that mentorship group, then reach out to your fucking boy. Okay. I want to help you. DM me more clients on Instagram. Let's fucking chat.
I have had so many people too. I love that you said that. So many people get afraid to reach out, like you're going to like bite or something like that. So a lot of people have said, oh, Kirsten reached out to me and I joined. But it's like, if you see someone on social media and the content they're putting out, the live streams they do, it resonates, reach out, because it could be that thing that changes your life. So many of you guys are surrounded by people that are holding you back. And so maybe your circle, your people aren't the direct people that are your neighbors or your friends, but your fucking people are out there, period. The people that want to focus on self-development, the people that are success-driven and won't give up. Those people are out there. You just need to find them and put yourself in that circle.
The Change Lives Academy is one of those places. I'm just saying, so is the women who win.
Amen. Fucking preach it.
All right, guys. Have the best day of your entire life. Thanks you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.